The Nürburgring Nordschleife, the infamous green hell, stretches for 20.8 kilometers through Germany's Eifel Mountains, a relentless gauntlet of 73 corners, blind crests, elevation changes that go over 300 meters, and, well, unforgiving barriers. For more than a century, it served as the ultimate arbiter of automotive supremacy, where lap times really expose the difference between engineering brilliance and, honestly, just marketing hype. Legends like the Porsche 918 Spyder, McLaren P1, and Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo have all etched their names here. And then, well, came an outsider. In October 2024, a sleek, four-door electric sedan from Xiaomi, a company most folks know for smartphones, rolled onto the track in prototype form. The Xiaomi SU7 Ultra prototype clocked a blistering 646.874 lap, a time that honestly just stunned the automotive world. This wasn't just fast, it was disruptive. That run eclipsed the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT's production EV benchmark, which is somewhere around 707 to 712 for the Taycan Turbo GT Weissach package, and it actually put the SU7 Ultra ahead of hypercars like the 918 Spyder, which did a 657 in outright pace for a four-door machine. Porsche, the undisputed king of performance heritage, suddenly looked, well, vulnerable. The drive-in RPM video titled, "Don't Make This Mistake, Xiaomi SU7 Ultra vs Porsche Taycan 27,200 RPM motor," really dissects exactly why this happened, framing it as a cautionary tale. Never underestimate what can happen when consumer electronics innovation collides with automotive physics. At the core of the SU7 Ultra beats Xiaomi's self-developed hyper-engine V8 motor. Actually, there are two of them, paired with a V6 unit for a tri-motor all-wheel drive layout. Each V8 spins to an eye-watering 27,200 RPM, which is, honestly, the highest rotational speed ever achieved in a production-intent EV motor. That figure isn't just marketing fluff, it's the product of some pretty obsessive engineering. The rotor uses proprietary ultra-high-strength electrical steel with a 960 MPa yield strength, wound with laser-tensioned dry carbon fiber binding to withstand centrifugal forces that would just disintegrate lesser designs. The stator employs an 8-layer hairpin winding with a 77% slot fill rate, boosting magnetic flux while cutting iron losses by 25% compared to predecessors. The result? Well, you get 10.14 kilowatts per kilogram power density, 98.11% peak efficiency, and individual motor outputs of 425 kilowatts. That's 578 horsepower and 635 newton meters. Combined system power hits 1,548 horsepower, or 1,154 kilowatts, and over 1,700 newton meters of torque. This propulsion catapults the 1,900 kilogram sedan from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.97 seconds and to 350 kilometers per hour in under 15 seconds on straights. But, raw acceleration is only part of the story. It's also about thermodynamics and limits. At those RPMs, centrifugal stress on the rotor magnets is catastrophic unless they're pre-compressed perfectly. Xiaomi solved it with aerospace-grade materials and AI-optimized electromagnetic simulations, over 200,000 iterations across 8 months. The motor doesn't just spin fast, it stays intact, even under repeated full-power abuse. Energy delivery comes from a CATL Kielin 2 battery pack, co-developed with Xiaomi. It's rated at roughly 93 to 100 kilowatt-hours, depending on the configuration, and supports a staggering 16C continuous discharge rate, meaning it can empty its capacity in under 4 minutes while sustaining peak output. That translates to bursts of 1.8 megawatts, which is over 2,400 horsepower equivalent, right from standstill. Heat is the enemy. Joule's law tells us that heat scales with current squared, so high discharge generates explosive thermal loads. Xiaomi counters with dual-surface active cooling, increasing thermal transfer by 60%, plus ultra-low internal resistance that maintains efficiency, even at 20% state of charge. So, the pack delivers over 800 kilowatts sustained. Yeah, that's actually more instantaneous power than a Bugatti Veyron's entire fuel tank could provide in a similar time frame. Downforce really defines cornering. At 350 km per hour, the SU7 Ultra generates 2,145 kilograms of aerodynamic load, more than its own curb weight. So, in theory, it could even drive upside down if the track allowed it. Active aero is absolutely key here. A U-shaped rear diffuser modulates airflow, and the adjustable rear wing not only reduces drag on the straights, but also doubles as an air brake in braking zones. The chassis, built on single-piece Gigacast aluminum rear floors, achieves 51,000 Newton-meters per degree torsional rigidity, which is actually stiffer than the Bugatti Chiron at 50,000 or the McLaren P1 at 40,000. This rigidity keeps suspension geometry precise under lateral loads exceeding 2G, ensuring tires remain planted. Braking is equally brutal. Kinetic energy scales with velocity squared, so decelerating from 350 km per hour generates heat rivaling an explosion. The SU7 Ultra deploys the largest carbon ceramic discs available, 430 mm up front, with 6-piston Ikebana calipers, capable of operating above 1,000 degrees Celsius without fade. Regenerative braking from the motors adds 0.6 G deceleration in milliseconds, blending seamlessly with friction brakes via software for consistent pedal feel. So, the video's verdict is pretty stark. Heritage is irrelevant when physics wins. Xiaomi's Beijing factory, runs over 700 robots for nearly 100% automated welding, painting, and assembly. There's even AI visual inspection at 0.05 mm precision. Vertical integration, well, it really slashes costs. The SU7 Ultra retails around $115,000 in China, half the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT's $230,000, while delivering superior performance metrics in key areas. Later, in 2025, the production SU7 Ultra improved to 7 minutes, 4.957 seconds, still beating the Taycan, and the prototype hit 6 minutes, 22.091 seconds under optimal conditions. But the 6 minutes, 46.874 seconds prototype run remains iconic, a declaration that consumer electronics agility can out-engineer century-old automakers. The SU7 Ultra isn't just a car. It's a software-defined platform on wheels, built by a company that iterates at smartphone speed. European boardrooms fell silent not because of the lap time alone, but because the engineering truth exposed a vulnerability. When innovation ignores tradition, records fall, and the old guard must adapt or fade. Don't make the mistake of thinking this is a fluke. It's the future arriving early.